Hey guys, welcome to my first video here on YouTube. Before we dive right into it, I would like to introduce myself real quick for those who don't know me yet. My name is Philip, I am 30 years old and from Austria. I play poker professionally since September 21 and play anything up to NL1K throughout all the different sites. I studied mathematics and psychology and philosophy for becoming a teacher and started playing poker next to my studies. I grinded my way up from NL2 here on PokerStars and already realized in the beginning of my career that I have a really big passion for the game and everything around it. After finishing university then, I worked as a teacher before I switched to playing poker full time. In my first video here you will see me playing NL200 Zoom on PokerStars, which is the highest fast forward game that I have access to and which runs most of the time. And I think it's a great format for such play and explain videos. But yeah, enough talking for now and let's jump right into it. I have a deeper stack on the right table, which I will call table 2, and left table is table 1. So maybe this also brings us some interesting decisions. Ace 10, I gonna free bet. And now squeeze. Here we're gonna ISO the recreational, limping on the button. He should fold a lot here on button on table 2, but ends up calling this time. I play half pot or check here. If it was a normal free bet spot, here the pot is a little bit bigger already, but still gonna c-bet his hand a lot. His range is probably a lot of like pocket pairs or some suited hands. Which I can put a lot of pressure on later streets with our hand. Check 8 suited. It's probably a little bit too weak to open. Sixes, although not. Sixes here is a mix. We roll lowish, I don't know this villain, but we call this time. And I think people overcall a lot here on table 1 in those spots, but those hands are already pretty low in equity and we can overfold on those kind of boards, which hit him pretty well. Here free bet our sixes. Queen 9 here on table 2 is a mix. Call this time because we roll very high. Calling flop. Starting with a c-bet on table 1. I think this guy is pretty aggressive lately. End up calling again on turn. River gonna be interesting. don't think he plays King 10 a lot here, like this. He already says he has a flush or a bluff, basically. And yeah, I think he's very aggressive lately. I think he can play a lot of like ace club hand like this, even 10 club, as you see. So I think versus there's a lot of people in this pool. It's probably not a good core, but I think versus him, yeah, it's a decent core. Actually, I shouldn't maybe talk that much about my opponents here. But yeah, I don't expect to get a lot of views on my first video, so probably won't matter too much. On table 2 I play half pot or check. Not always betting this hand. I don't know villain really. I'm rolling pretty high. I think I check. Most people in this pool probe too much. And yeah, this hand I can core turn. Let's see what it does on river. Check specifically is not the best hand to core because it blocks Jack 10, which is one of his most obvious bluffs. I think now I just always have the best hand, nearly, in reality at least. So yeah, maybe he played a 9 like this because he thinks I'm never checking back better hands. Here versus a recreational or opens big. On table 1 I'm yeah, I just have no info on him. So normally I would free bet more when he opens that big. But yeah, he could have multiple opening sizings and this could be the sizing for a stronger range, so I don't want to free bet into this kind of range without more further info. So yeah, flop the same thing again. Think that's why I'm still calling flop as well and not free betting too much because I don't wanna see random jams from recreationals here. A turn where we would have a lot of leads in theory. I might even do it here as well because we can't really call a big turn bet anymore. Yeah, now we have an easy check, but I think we will mostly lose, to be honest, after the call turn. We'll have a lot of ace-x in his range. Somehow we win, so it's interesting. Maybe at the 9 or something like this. Here I see bet a lot. My sizing is half pot. I see bet a lot of range, I mean. Okay, so here, let's make a quick note. Here, 3.5 x open 7 button, big C bet, ace 10, 9 rainbow. Could be useful in the future. Yeah, on table 2 now, our hand is a little bit too weak, I think, to value bet. Here the recreational opens from under the gun. If it's a very loose recreational, you could probably free bet some times with those hands. But yeah, he didn't look that loose, as most fish are in those Zoom pools. Feels like the really loose ones you mostly find on the rec tables. Here we have an easy call on table 2. Table 1, we hit a nice flop for our hand and for our range. I place more bet or check here. On table 2 we roll very low, so I end up raising this hand. We have a lot of flushes in our range here. Table 1 I play 75 or check. And I think on the paired river I probably give up with my hand. Yeah, luckily we did. Table 1 I think, yeah, it's a pretty bad river because he has all the nut flushes. Think I play block only with our range and hope that he doesn't jam. Here I play half pot or check on table 2. Betting this time. Yeah, it's not a great spot. With the club I would call. We roll 7 though. I'm not sure if I can fold my hand pure. So I end up calling and yeah, he ends up overbluffing, luckily for us. It's actually weird that we found twice a bluff here in this pool, because yeah, mostly it feels like they're not bluffing enough on 200 zoom, on 200 in general, I mean. So yeah, that's definitely worth a note as well. Bluffs, river versus block. Yeah, table 2, our ace high is probably good enough to check down. Now when he bets the river, he looks pretty passive, not bluffing, no showdown info as well. Versus most recreations I would call here, I think. But yeah, versus him, oh, he looks really passive. Yeah, I end up folding this one versus this guy. Plus river versus block, 3-bet pot. Top pair. Top pair, flush. Free card, flush, run out. He probably doesn't expect me to have enough strong hands in this line, I guess, when he bluffs here. So, versus him, we press core. I don't have info on this guy yet. Most people don't free bet enough, so I could open this one, but yeah, he looks pretty loose, so from the few hands I have. Table 1 we call flop. Hope that he slows down. Maybe he slows down a bit more with us after he saw us calling a little wide. Fast check on turn. I think my hand is a mix. I check this time. Don't wanna get check shoved from like ace diamond hands, which this guy could probably find. Let's see what he does. Okay, he checks. So we should mostly have the best hand here. He had king 10. some good run here for us in this video. Here on table 2 we roll very low, so we c-bet. And here versus a recreational with two raggish looking guys in the blinds, I end up free betting. Don't have any info about this guy. He donks, okay. We are not folding yet, so we core. And we probably not folding on turn, unless he maybe shoves or something crazy. Question is, yeah, I think, yeah, I still prefer the core. Although, like, fish could have random hands here. Yeah, and now we have fold. Unfortunately, we don't hit. But the problem is that he has a lot of like pair plus draws, I guess, which he will never fold. So, and he could also call or the better flush draws. So, I think in position we just wanna call, realize our equity for this price, and when he checks we bluff, and when we hit, yeah, it's nice. On table 2, I think people overbluff on the ace here, and I think the question is, can we? Yeah, I make a thin raise here. In theory, probably not too much of a thing, but in reality, we only lose to ace queen basically. So I think he has more ace 10 and lower than ace queen, and probably never has a king. So yeah, I am not sure. Probably not really a thing in theory, this line, but I think it can be good in reality. Have to look this spot up later. It's interesting. Fours is an open cutoff. Versus him again. It's not a pure defend versus free bet here. We roll 94, so yeah, we end up folding this time. He's aggressive as well, so we'll see bet a lot on flop and probably won't give up too much. Table 2, 7-6 is probably close versus 2.2x. But yeah, we had no decision after small bet, free bet. I think this guy is a reg. We hit second pair on table 1, so we start with a core. Yeah, and our hand is, yeah, it's too weak to block, I think, and mostly the pairs with the ace, you wanna, let's end up opening this hand, it's close as well on table 2. Normally those hands are the best like check cores because you shouldn't bluff like ace-x. But here, on this kind of board, he might even bluff some weak ace-x, and then it's not that nice. But yeah, still I think my hand is a good check call on river. Blocking value as well. He should not bet or not flush draws on turn, so. Here we are very deep and he uses a very small sizing. Normally this hand is a fold in those positions. But because it goes that small and we are 200 B deep, I think might be a core. Starts with a half pot bet. Interesting turn. So I don't expect him to like check back a lot of stronger hands than ours on turn. Might again go for an exploitative bigger size. Because people with like those kind of, yeah, whatever. Let's he might hero us with ace king, ace queen with a spade. Because he's aggro and also stationary from what I know. And yeah, the thing is in theory you probably won't use this size. But again, in theory you don't always have the best hand here, and I think in reality I do always have it. But still I wanna look this one up for later. Also because of the theory, the pre-flop play. If it's a core when we go that deep and versus this small sizing. On table 1 here I play 75 or check when we are 100 pp deep. We are a bit deeper now. Yeah, maybe I increase my sizing then a bit and use pot instead of 75. I honestly haven't really done a lot of deep stack study, but yeah, it should be good enough for this pool. Because other racks mostly don't study deep play neither, and you can put more pressure on many guys. Still thinking about the ace-9 and maybe I should still use 75 on river, because then he probably like always calls his this kind of player probably always calls his ace-x and finds the hero folds versus this size. Yeah, definitely some spots which I can reveal later. Here ace-10 is an easy fold. Let's play to the next big blinds. Going for more than 20 minutes already. Here we size up a bit because we are deeper. Alright, had some interesting spots. We ran pretty well, honestly, to find those bluff catches in this pool. Yeah, if you like this video, I would really appreciate a like and a sub. And yeah, maybe see you soon again.